Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and in today's video we are doing an update on my weight loss journey. I think that I posted my first video like back in the beginning of September, maybe the end of August, one of those, and you guys were so incredibly kind. I gained a ton of new followers or subscribers from that video, so if you are one of them, thank you so much for being here. But a lot of you have asked for an update and I wanted to give that to you and just kind of tell you a little bit of what I'm doing, like what my everyday plan looks like to get to where I'm at right now. So I just want to start by saying an update. I think that last video that I posted, I was down 33 pounds at that point. And as of this morning's weigh-in, I am down 41. So definitely making progress. That's 8 pounds. In maybe a little over a month, I think, since I posted that video last. And to me, that is perfect. That's like right on target for what I am looking for. My goal every week is to lose 1 pound a week. But if I lose more, great. In some weeks I have big losses. In some weeks I don't, but I just try to steadily lose a pound a week. Now, if you have not seen that video before, that's okay. I'll have it linked for you down in the description box. So if you want to see that one first, you can, but we're going to kind of just talk about what I'm currently doing and what is working for me. I want to start by saying I am on weight loss medication. I take 7.5 milligrams currently of zepbound, which is a trizepatide medicine. It's a GLP-1 and a GLP-2. And basically what that means is it helps address obesity at the cellular level. So it helps tackle visceral fat, which is the fat deep on the inside that surrounds your internal organs. That's the kind of fat that's like the worst for you, that will cause a heart attack, that will kill you. That's the fat that will kill you. It also helps to slow down your digestion, so you feel fuller longer. For me, the number one thing for me is that it helps with food noise. I don't constantly think about foods that I want to be eating or craving. When am I going to eat again? In fact, I have almost the opposite struggle sometimes, where I have to force myself to eat because sometimes I'm not hungry at all and I know I have got to fuel my body. There's lots of other things that trizepatide will do for the body, including helping with, hormones. I am insulin resistant, so it helps me with that. Lots of things that it does. I am not a doctor. I'm not here to preach about this medication. If you're curious, you can look it up online. What I will not put up with, and I mentioned this in my last video and I'll say it again, and that is any bashing of any kind of weight loss method. If you've never struggled with obesity, I applaud you. And if you have struggled with obesity, it does not mean it's something that you are doing. It could just be your hormones. It could be your body type. It could be 100 other things. It could be the way that your body absorbs nutrients, the way your body breaks down food. It could be so many different things. I would implore you to talk to your doctor, talk to a nutritionist. That's what I did. And I talk all about how I ended up on trizepatide in that first video. And so go back and watch that if you're not really sure how that works. However, trizepatide alone is not going to help you lose the weight that you want. You also have to make lifestyle changes, including watching what you're eating, counting calories, and moving your body. So here is what I'm currently doing. Number one, I needed to get myself into a calorie deficit. I talked in that first video about how I always complicated dieting by trying to do super restrictive diets like keto, Weight Watchers, all of those types of things. Weight Watchers was probably the most effective for me and the most close to what I'm currently doing. But I am not restricting myself from anything. There is nothing that I am saying, no, you cannot have that. You're on a diet. That is not what I am doing. I actively avoid that at all costs because for me, that has just led to binge eating in the past. Let me just clarify, because I said that in my first video and people came for me. I'm not talking about binge eating in a cyclical way. Like, it is not an ED, okay? I'm talking about binging on food that I thought I couldn't have, or I would tell myself that I couldn't have, and I would go 2-3 weeks and not eat it, and then I would have this massive craving, and then I would eat so much of it. I'm not doing that anymore. So I eat the food that I want. If I want a piece of cake, if I want a cookie. Last night we made chocolate chip cookies for our movie night. I enjoy it. I just count the calories. So how many calories should you be eating? This is the number one thing you need to figure out, right? So I used something called calculator.net. I'll have it linked for you down below, and it has a calorie calculator for you where you can figure out, based on how often you move your body, how old you are, whether you're female or male, and how much you're trying to lose. It'll tell you how many calories you should be eating. So I did the math before I came on here just to see where I was at, because I knew where I was at the beginning when I first started. I started this journey at 266 pounds. I am currently 225 pounds. Per calories.net or calculator.net, I'm sorry, to maintain my current weight, I should be eating 2,424 calories a day. That's if I want to maintain. If I want to lose a half a pound a week, I need to be eating 2,174. If I want to lose 1 pound a week, it says I should be eating 1,924 calories. And if I want to lose 2 pounds a week, or what they consider extreme weight loss, I need to be eating 1,424 calories. Now, that means calories ingested, okay? That does not include what your body, that's just your metabolic basal metabolic rate, okay? So that does not include, that's like what my body needs just to survive. That does not include exercising. So if I say that I want to lose 1 pound a week, I say that I'm going to focus on eating, you know, a round number, 1,800 calories a day, which is around what I try to stay at. Every time I exercise, it's going to bump up. So it's going to say 1,800 and then it goes to 2,000, right? Because I exercised for, 45 minutes or whatever. I can eat those calories. It's not that I have to stay at the 1,800. I can, that'll put me in a bigger calorie deficit, but to lose 1 pound a week, you need to be roughly at a 500 calorie deficit a day. And so if I work out and I add those calories, some days I eat them, some days I don't. It just depends on where I'm at. You want to make sure you're listening to your body. Eat when you're hungry. If you're more hungry than than your calories allow, listen to your body. Feed it. Don't starve yourself. Don't tell yourself you can't eat it, because what will end up happening is your body will plateau or stall. So just listen to your body and feed it when you're hungry. There's also something called zigzag dieting. The calculator.net website talks about this, and this has been very helpful for me over this last month because I was hitting a plateau. So plateau just means that your body is adjusting to the lower calorie intake and it's not dropping those pounds as quickly as you want it to. And that can be very frustrating when you are actively doing what you're supposed to be doing and your body is not releasing those extra pounds. So if that happens to you, you can zigzag diet, which means that you don't eat roughly the same amount of calories every day. So you'll put yourself, in a really, really tight calorie deficit for, several days, and then you'll eat higher calories on other days. I've seen people do carb cycling where they have higher carb days and then lower carb days. You can do that too. For me, what I do, and it's my version of zigzag dieting, if you will, is Monday through Thursday when I am at work. I try really, really hard to be very, very mindful about everything that I'm eating. Does it mean that I ignore the little miniature Snickers bars that my principal always has in her office? No, I eat one, but I count those calories, right? But I just try really, really hard to just eat really well and log everything that I'm eating. On Friday, it's a little less, strict because it is usually pizza night. And then the weekends, I try to be good for breakfast and lunch. And then dinner, I usually just don't even count. I just eat what I want. And I know some days I end up eating, not a lot of calories. Other days I eat a ton of calories. But I just try really hard to keep my body guessing. And at least 4 to 5 days a week, stay as close to that calorie goal as physically possible. Now, I know that's a lot of information, and if you're like me and you are not a math person, it might be a lot of math. I don't want to complicate this for you. That was what I always did wrong in my previous weight loss journeys, was I complicated everything. Do not complicate it. Find out how many calories on calculator.net, how many you need to eat to lose the amount that you want to lose per week. Okay, and just stick to that. And if you exercise and you earn back some, eat when you're hungry and don't when you're not. Not a big deal. I track my food intake by using the free app, MyFitnessPal. There is like a premium version of it that you can pay and get some extra features, but I just use the free one. You can share it with other people who use the app and kind of like root each other on. I don't do that. I'm a very private person, shockingly. I know you probably wouldn't believe that considering how much I put on the internet, but I'm a very private person when it comes to like what I'm eating every day and like my weight loss. I know that seems ridiculous because here I am standing here telling you all of these things, but I don't want like in the moment feedback. I don't want to have to like explain myself if, you know, I had something to eat that wasn't great. I try really hard to track everything so I know where I'm at, and I just don't want to have to like, I don't want to feel judged by what I put in there. I want to make sure that I'm being accurate and I'm being honest. So I don't share my information with other people, but that's okay. You can. If you are highly motivated that way, you absolutely can. I will link both calculator.net down below and MyFitnessPal so that you can get those apps if you're interested. When you are starting a weight loss journey, I would highly recommend that you get your blood work done. I have had my blood work done now 3 times since February just to see where I'm at, make sure my body is tolerating the medication appropriately, but also I want to watch the numbers to make sure that I'm moving in the right direction. So when I meet with my doctor very regularly, we do a Zoom call, usually about every 6 weeks or so, and she's keeping track of the body mass that I am losing. So like I tell her my current weight and she'll say, you've lost, 15% of your body weight, which is always like mind blowing, and it feels so good, and that's so motivating for me. But doing your blood work will also tell you how you're doing on vitamins and minerals, how your A1C is, you know what I mean, how your heart's doing, your cholesterol. I have low good cholesterol, so I need to start like taking a fish oil or just eating more healthy fats like avocado and that kind of thing. But having your blood work done regularly will show you how you're doing. It's a snapshot of your health. It's not the only health indicator, but it's a good health indicator. And if you have high numbers that you're trying to lower, it's really motivating to see those going down. Some would say that what you eat is the most important thing when it comes to dieting and losing weight. And I would agree that your diet is extremely important, and having a calorie deficit every single day where you are burning more calories than you are taking in is the fundamentals to weight loss. However, I would also argue that movement is equally as important as diet. Before, I used to think that diet was number one, and if I just ate really clean or didn't eat any carbs, stayed below 20 grams of carbohydrates and sugar, I would just drop weight, and you will drop weight. However, for me, I did not feel like I was living my full life. I always felt like something was missing, and I don't want to feel confined. I love food. I am a foodie to my core. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to go out to eat. When we go to travel, the first thing I do is look up food and restaurants, and I want to try the local foods. I love any kind of food that isn't, something I would make at home. I love cocktails. I love like artisan cocktails. I love to go to a fancy bar and try really delicious, full of sugar cocktails and have a delicious meal, with my friends and family. And I don't want to feel like I can't do those things because I really, really enjoy them. Some people look at food as fuel, and it is, and that's great. And 4 to 5 days out of the week, I try to do the same. but I always will leave myself that little bit of window to enjoy food because I just love it so much. That's why Ratatouille is my favorite movie. I just love food. So in order for me to be able to do those things, to be able to still enjoy the food that I want, I had to move my body, you guys. I was averaging about 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day before I really made an honest effort to move my body. Now, as I mentioned in that previous video, I did have a hysterectomy back in May, and that has changed my life. I feel like I can actually move my body effectively and be, comfortable again. But I have set some mini goals when it comes to movement, and this has drastically changed how quickly I'm losing weight. So number one, I try to hit 7,600 steps every single day. That is what I need in order to meet the calorie deficit that I need. Okay, that's like a healthy movement. If I can get to 10,000, even better. But I try before I get home from work to be around 7,000 steps. So throughout my day at work, I walk. I get up and walk every single hour, whether it's just a couple laps around my building. We have an upstairs, so I'll go up the stairs and do a lap and then go back down and do that a couple times throughout the day. I've been parking really far. Everything is gotta get my steps, gotta get my steps. Even my kids are like, gotta get those steps in. So we just try every chance we can to get, those extra steps. And I know that sounds crazy, but you guys, it all adds up. It all adds up. And instead of asking somebody else to do something for me, I just get up and do it myself. And that has been tremendously helpful. The other thing is I use an Apple Watch. I do try to hit all three of my goals. My stand goal is 10 hours, and I usually end the day anywhere from 14 to 18 hours of standing. I put it on right away when I first get up, take it off for the shower, but I want every hour to count. I also have a 15-minute goal for working out, for exercise. I need to bump that up to 30 minutes. I usually average about 45 minutes to an hour a day, and that includes like all that walking I'm doing at work. And then my move goal for my active calories is 750 calories. So that's 750 calories that my body is actively burning. And that is, a goal that I try to hit every day. That is the hardest goal to meet. And it's, I'm not going to lie and say it's easy. It's definitely harder on some days than others, but I have found some good ways to help me meet that goal. I'm looking at my notes because I took down notes so I didn't forget what I wanted to talk about. So one way that I try to hit my move goal is using my exercise bike. I talked about this in my previous video. I've talked about it in other videos. I try to hop on that thing for about 20 to 30 minutes a day, and that will burn anywhere from 150 to 250 calories, depending on where I put like the intensity. If it's been a long day and I was on my feet a ton, I'll just keep it at a 1 or a 2 and I'll burn like 150 calories in a half an hour. Or like this morning, I bumped it up to a 6 because I really wanted to get a good calorie burn and get my heart rate up. And I burned, I think it was like 260 calories in a half an hour. So that's one way that I get my calories in. My cat is in the pantry. He's so ridiculous. He was having a little panic attack there for a second. The second way that I get my calorie burn is through an app called WalkFit. I talked about this before. I've talked about it in other videos. I'll link it for you down below. WalkFit. It's the icon looks like a girl walking or person walking, and you do have to pay for it, but what it does is it sets a goal for you, which is 7,600. That's where I got that number. And It has daily like walk in place exercises, which are really, really great. I can turn my TV on. I do them right here in the space between my dining room and my family room. And it's just nice and open. Most nights, Danny does it with me. We can watch TV while we're doing it. We watch football games while we're doing it. Technically, I could do it literally anywhere. I pop in a headphone. It has great music, and it's a great way for me to hit my move goal and to get my steps in. If you're using an Apple Watch or any like a Garmin or something like that to track your exercises, you know that it feels like your workout didn't count if you didn't track it. And so when I do the WalkFit exercises, I select mixed cardio on my watch, and for about a 30-minute workout, I burn anywhere from 250 to 300 calories. It's a great little workout. It's easy to do, and it's a double whammy because you get your calories and your steps. So that's great. Or if I hop on the bike, I don't get my steps, but it does get my move ring closed, which is the harder one. So these are the things that I'm doing. I also am excited to be adding the treadmill in here soon. I was anti-treadmill for a while because I have arthritis in my feet. I talked about this in my first video. I invested in a good pair of shoes. I have them linked in every video. They are my Hokas. I wear them all of the time. I literally can't not wear them anymore. Like, it's just such a game changer for my feet. But now my podiatrist had told, I just like totally lost my train of thought, but my podiatrist had told me that for every 10 pounds I lose, that's 40 pounds off my feet. So if I'm 40 pounds down, that's 160 pounds off my feet, and I can feel it. You guys have commented on my videos saying I look lighter and like I'm moving better. I am moving better. You know, I try to move every opportunity that I can. When I need a student to come to my office, if I have the option to go and snag them from class and bring them down, I will. You know, bringing things up and down from the basement, walking down to the mailbox, just any chance I can to move my body, I am trying. And that's my goal every day, is just when you can, move, period. Just move, because there are so many people in this world that wish they could. And I was one of those people before this weight loss journey started who I envied people who looked like they could just move around so easily and so nicely. And I just couldn't do that. And man, I really, really wanted to. And I feel so much better knowing that I can now. That is pretty much what I'm doing. The last thing that I would just say is tell your loved ones your goals. Pick 2 or 3 trusted people, even just one, and let them know what your long-term goals are. My long-term goal is to lose 100 pounds. That would be ideal. That would be a major milestone for me. I don't know if I'll ever get there, and if I don't, that's okay, as long as I'm, moving in the right direction. But every time somebody tells me that I look good, or that, that they can tell I've lost weight or whatever, any kind of compliment like that. Some people are like, I don't want to make you, insinuate that you looked bad before, but you know what? That's okay. I like it. I welcome it, because this is a journey. It is hard, and it's nice to hear that other people are seeing the results and not just you. So, set miniature goals for yourself. Right now, my goal is move my body every opportunity that I can. I would like to try to have a perfect month for closing my rings. I was trying for October, but I ruined it a couple of times. I've already missed hitting my move goal like 3 times, I think. That's okay, it happens. I'm not even gonna stress about it. But then my last miniature goal is just to be honest with myself all of the time. So I'm trying really hard, not log the food because it's not a good food. It wasn't a good choice. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm trying to change the mindset of this is a good choice, this is a bad choice, and just stick with these are the choices that I made. If I ate a lot of food and I need to burn a little more calories, I can, but I'm trying to stop labeling good and bad, and just these are the choices that I made, and because of the choice that I made, this is what I have to do instead, or this is what I have to do. I don't know, that's like a deeper psychological thing there, but that is what I'm trying to do, because my whole entire life I have told myself, this is good, this is bad. You had a good day, you had a bad day. I want to stop doing that. It's just food. It's just food, right? And I'm trying to make healthy choices where I can and leave margin for the times that I want a less healthier option. So if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave them down below. I am planning for a future video to show you what I eat in a day. And I'm also already starting to think about what I'm going to do as I move into the holidays. Now that you know my mindset when it comes to food, there probably won't be a ton of changes, but I might see where I can make a few tweaks here or there for some healthier options, to leave again margin for those not so healthy options. If you guys are on a similar journey, let me know. I would love to know. We can all support each other here. And yeah, if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe and come back for more. And until the next one, my friends, have a great day. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.